And good evening from Las Vegas. Welcome to the Sports Adrenaline Show. Erik Karlsson to VGK rumors are really heating up. Training camps are set to open next month. The Golden Knights also have a new ECHL affiliate. The Raiders prepare for the Green Bay Packers on Friday night. We'll talk about that. UNLV loses a big defensive end to injury. Otherwise, a slow week on campus for Rebel football. The team going through game prep for USC. That's happening on September the 1st. And they're also set for a mock game coming up on Saturday. We'll have a season preview package coming up as well. The Aces are out of the playoffs. Let's recap the first year. So I have to ask you guys, when is the parade? I mean, they're knocked out of the playoffs.
Yeah, we've been through this once before.
Yes,
no parade.
Yeah,
no parade
talk
for this team.
So news about the Viva Lights and also the Las Vegas 51s. We have Tiger versus Phil and much, much more. Plus, we have Little Leaguers in the house tonight, as the Nevada Bucks and their manager are stopping by fresh off of playing in Cooperstown this summer.
They're about the same size as I am, so
Get on your orange jersey, John.
I think they hit better than you, John.
I need to hit the gym.
So Tony Cardasco, John Castanino, Matt Gutierrez, Haley Brooks is here. She's way back in the hood tonight.
Look at that. Look at that wide shot.
We have a Luis Negretti report on the Aces, and we are recorded tonight before a live studio audience.
There you go.
Haley, we're going to check in with you first. How are things going back there? Haley's comments tonight or no?
Nope, just my own comments.
What did you think of the pre-show,
So
Haley?
much
The
better.
pre-show shenanigans here. You have a beer in front of you.
I do.
Yeah.
From Bad Beat Brewery.
Good folks. New sponsor of the show, them along with The Pint. They're good people. The Pint on the west side of town, Wallapai and Charleston, and Bad Beat Brewing is on the east side of town out in Henderson. Both great stops.
Stopped by the Pint the other day.
Yeah.
Cool joint.
And Haley's a fan of the Growler.
She's got a growler. She's
got the
bringing it
growler.
in. They've got this cool like wood facade when you walk in, and it looks like they branded all the Vegas sports logos on it. You got the Raiders, the Knights, the Aces, UNLV. Like they branded them on.
Yeah,
It's
they're
pretty
all
cool.
local.
It's a good look. I like it.
Raised in Vegas. I don't know if Nick Starr was born out here. I think he was. I know he went to UNLV. So they're all, diehard Vegas fans and UNLV fans. So go out and support them as they're supporting us. So we appreciate it.
We're going to get to our special guest here after we talk about things that are happening where? In the knighthood, of course. So reports out of Ottawa today and around the league are that talks are starting to heat up once again for an Erik Karlsson trade. So the Senators opening up camp September
Now, what
13th.
source is this? What source?
Sources, just sources.
Tony sources.
Tony sources. There you go. But
Sounds like north of the border's out of the running.
yeah, we'll get to that.
All right.
Not so fast, okay? But the Golden Knights,
Apparently
to
he's
say
got
his
an
piece.
order that we
He
have
has to
to
say
go
his
in.
piece.
Yeah.
This
the
is
Golden Knights,
normal.
the Dallas Stars, the Dallas Snow Stars,
Everybody around
the
here
San
said,
Jose
"Why is
Sharks."
this guy talking so much?
They have all rekindled conversations with Ottawa, and talks should heat up very quickly as Ottawa General Manager Pierre Dorion now has to make some sort of a decision, right? Whether or not to trade Erik Karlsson and what the trade value might be. You have to believe that a deal is going to happen before the start of the season because Ottawa has to do something, right, guys? They have to get something for
they're
the
gonna
top
lose him
defenseman,
regardless.
or they're going to lose him for nothing.
And it's not even a question now because, like we mentioned, he doesn't want to sign an extension with any Canadian team. Vancouver's out, Edmonton's out, obviously Ottawa's out. Every Canadian team out, which means they're losing him after this coming season, no matter what they do with him. So you might as well trade him and try to get something in return. We keep talking about what are the Knights going to give up. The biggest question is, can they sign him to a long-term deal? Because if you give up that much for him and you can't lock him up beyond the 2018-19 season, that's a lot unless you can bring a cup home in year 2.
If this team, Ottawa, is really kind of standing pat and saying, yeah, we don't need to trade Erik Karlsson, and that's not a lie, that's just bad management. That's a bad way to handle your roster. That's a bad way to essentially lease the future of your team when you can get assets now for a guy that likely will not stay. I mean, it's really bad. So that's a bold-faced lie, I think. And as soon as we get even closer to training camp, we're just a few weeks out, the longer this takes, I think the more panicked Ottawa gets, and that's going to benefit whoever ends up with them. Hopefully it's the Knights.
Hopefully.
Catherine Tappan of NBC actually reported today that her sources were saying that Erik Karlsson not willing to sign with a team from Canada. wants to play in the U.S. market, probably more marketability. And then, once again, the team that was going after Erik Karlsson's services, Vancouver, and they're not a contender. So I think that they're right on target there.
They
You'd
got
have to
Brandon
believe
Leipzig.
he's going to
What are you talking about? Not a contender. We got a VGK guy over there.
Let me talk cap numbers really quick. So we're talking about San Jose and Tampa. San Jose projected cap $4.3 million. Tampa only $2.6 million, and of course we know the Knights situation, $8.687 million under the cap. So again, out of those three scenarios, you're talking
They're
about
in the best spot, right?
Right, absolutely. Or it's, I mean, they just signed Evander. Not that you would trade Evander Kane in San Jose, but it seems like they'd have to get rid of a big asset. Is it Thornton? I think he signed. I don't know if he signed a big contract or a really tiny contract to come back.
It was pretty big.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah, I can look at that.
I think this all hinges on what can Ottawa get back.
It's awfully
Karlsson.
strange having Haley over my shoulder.
Just watching you, man,
Yeah.
like a hawk. But what can Ottawa
on.
get back in this deal? That's obviously their biggest problem here is who has the most to offer. What can they get back? Because again, Karlsson's gone. There's no point in hanging on to him for this season if you're Ottawa, because he's already said he's leaving after the season's over.
I really do believe that teams like VGK now have some sort of leverage, right? It's late in the game, and maybe Ottawa pushes the panic button. You have to believe that they're just trying to get something of value there. Karlsson turned down an 8-year, $80 million extension with Ottawa back in July, and so you might get away with not having to get rid of so many pieces as previously discussed, right?
I'm
It's a big one.
I'm looking at these players on who Tampa could trade, and I don't know if any of these are anybody on the table, but Nikita Kucherov, $4.7 million this year, and then it balloons $9.5 million for the next 6 years after that. So that's an insane contract. Do they flip-flop something like that? That's the only way that would work on Tampa's end. But it looks like he just signed. This is a 7-year deal that they've got on here that they're on the hook for. A 25-year-old player, so probably not trading him. I don't know if you're one of these other teams.
I don't think Tampa will be in the hunt, though.
Right. Who are you going to trade and clear enough cap space to get there? And I just don't see it.
That's the thing. Vegas is in the driver's seat because of the assets that they have, because of guys like whether it's Tuck or Theodore or Eakin or anybody that they can send in that direction, and the amount of cap space that they have.
So the Ottawa Sun said today that the team still wants 4 assets, actually. A player who will have an immediate impact, a first-round pick, and a top prospect plus a throw-in. So, they still want 4
the
assets.
Knights' next first-rounder, Shea Theodore,
It's got to be Shea
Glass,
Theodore.
Suzuki, Brandstrom, or Haig. Probably one of those 4. I mean, that's a lot to give up unless you can work out an extension before you bring him over. I think that's a determining factor. If you can work out some kind of extension where he signs with the Knights long term before he ever gets here, then fine, you make that trade. If not, that's a lot to risk for a 1-year rental.
I still think something shady about the Shea Theodore situation, right? Shea Theodore, I guess, has turned down, the first offers and the qualifying offer and wants a lot more money. But there's something that just is not right.
Here's the
about
great
him
part.
not signing.
We're
because
really
everyone
not.
else is.
We're not going to find out. McPhee's not going to tell you anything. We're just going to see what happens. We'll just see what happens. And
No. We'll listen to Canadian radio and we'll find out what happens there.
Apparently, George McPhee goes to Canadian radio before.
You don't have an interview
local.
set up, Tony?
No.
No?
I don't say enough. The Golden Knights announcing this week that they will have an East Coast Hockey League affiliate, and it will be the Fort Wayne Comets. I spoke to the Comets general manager this week, David Franke, and he's really excited. And he's going to join us on our Saturday radio show, CBS Sports Radio 1140. He'll be on in the 9 o'clock hour. We air that show from 8 to 10 a.m. on Saturday mornings, and we don't have Haley Brooks looking over our shoulder. So the Comets are
She's
so.
sitting
I
next to
am.
us and breathing
Yeah.
down our necks.
I like that better.
Yeah.
Yeah. We know where she is. We can spot her. I just have to look in the monitor to see that awkward chat.
Is that couch comfortable?
It is actually.
Yeah,
really
I think she's going to be passed out.
This is
Taking a
yeah.
nap at some point.
This
Great.
is home.
Hilarious.
Great, yeah. Great shot, Luis.
The Golden Knights have the 8th best farm system, according to The Athletic this week. Corey Pronman did an examination of every franchise.
Pretty good for a
pretty
first-year
good.
franchise or second-year franchise,
Right?
right? Depth.
Yeah.
We've mentioned all this stuff before, and it's getting validated with more of these articles. That come
I'm
out.
curious where they'd be ranked had they not traded for Tatar. because they gave
Right.
up what two
Yeah.
first rounders?
Yeah, they gave
second
up
rounder.
a
They gave
bunch.
up a
First,
bunch
second,
for
third,
Tatar.
I think.
First,
First,
second,
second, third. There you go.
Correct.
Where would that ranking be had they not traded for Tatar? Now I have no problem with that trade. I think Tatar, now that he's going to be settled in and kind of fill that role with Perron and Neal gone, I think Tatar is going to be a pretty good asset for him. 20-goal scorer every single season. I think he'll be right there. But where would that ranking be? 5, 6 maybe?
So with the Comets, they're going to probably get one goalie, is what he said, probably 3 or 4 players. And it just depends how the players shake out during camps, right? Training camp and what have you. So that's kind of cool, though, that they have an East Coast affiliate. And then the Comets, of course, in Chicago, the Wolves will be working really closely together on just, sending players back and forth.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
think. But then eventually
Got to have a
they'll
good
wind
minor
up
league
here.
system, man.
Yeah, it's
No
looks
different than
pretty good.
baseball.
But they already have a good nucleus, I guess. Back there in Fort Wayne. We'll hear more, of course, on Saturday morning. Hey, the Westgate Superbook. So they posted not odds. They posted over/under totals on points this season. Do you know what it is?
Oh, boy. Well, I'm going to go with 92.5.
I'm going with 96.
It's 96.5. Matt cheated.
I did not.
11th highest
Oh, look
point
at that.
That's
total.
always right, Tony.
Haley.
God, when are you going to learn, John?
Haley, you know.
Tony and Matt are always right.
Yeah, this is true. And I'm always wrong, or I'm just not heard. That's,
I mean, that sounds like the show
yeah,
to me in
that's,
a
that's
nutshell
it.
right
We
there.
figured it all out right here.
So the Golden Knights finished with 109 points during the regular season.
Bet the over.
Over 96.5?
Sure. Oh, that's right. Forgot about Mr. Negativity over here.
I mean, that's a 13-point drop if you're going to take the under. 14-point drop, 13.5-point drop if
7
you're going to take
wins?
the under. So
Is there?
7 less wins? 7 fewer wins?
that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, Tony.
Is this going to be our latest debate on the radio again this week?
Do you think that they significantly
If you hold your
overachieved
ground,
that
yes.
much?
When is Wild Bill coming back from vacation? I mean, I see Instagram
When it's time to
photos
go to camp.
every day.
Listen,
When it's time to go to work.
Those videos were official Golden Knights team videos, so we will report to
No.
training camp. So
I follow his girlfriend on Instagram. And
They're
they're just
adorable.
hanging out. They're on vacation for 2 months.
Let him be happy.
The kids are laughing at you, Tony, with your IG follows.
Tampa Bay, 107.5 points is
Under.
their overall.
clearly under.
Over
I'm
on.
going to go to the Westgate right after we leave here because that's easy money.
Just a couple of other notes, and then you know what, guys, you can head over to the
Yeah,
interview
well,
zone.
except no,
Let's
this
do
is
that.
good timing.
Yeah.
So have your 5 minutes, and then we'll get set up over there.
Yeah. So single
We'll let you
game
chat.
tickets went on sale on Monday. Hey, remember last year all the single game tickets were sold out real fast. We haven't heard. Haley, just come over.
I'm coming.
Come.
I'm
just
coming.
hang out over here if you can. Okay.
This
So
chair
last
is
year,
gonna be too high up.
she brought her Emmy. Is that a real Emmy?
Yeah.
It is. It's Richard Jacobino's actually.
Yes, it is Richard Jacobino's our wonderful
Wow,
producer.
that's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
When is John going
I
to give
know.
you your actual Emmy?
You know what? He still hasn't done that yet, so
Right?
that's a problem.
So single game tickets go on sale on Monday. Last year,
Yep.
remember there was a frenzy, and
Yep.
everyone bought their single game tickets.
Yep.
You might have to just scoot over and get in the shop.
Can't be comfy over here.
We'll send it over there. Haley and I are having a discussion right now.
Yep.
Okay, why isn't there the same amount of hype as last year? We don't know how many season tickets have been sold, right? I mean, how many single game tickets have been sold? Like, are they all sold out? I haven't heard anything. Have
Because
you?
it's not the first year.
So you don't think there's
anymore.
the excitement and the hype? Seriously. Do you think there's...
People are still gonna go, but that's why nobody's ranting and raging over it, because everyone who wanted to go to at least one game went to that at least one game, hopefully by now.
Right. So you think for next year it's kind of smooth it out where people aren't as excited?
They won't be as antsy to go as they were in the first year.
Interesting.
But,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll have to see what happens. We haven't heard a word, though. I haven't seen anything in the media.
John has a wad of gum on his laptop.
Yeah. All right. As we said, we have a group of little leaguers, and John fits right in.
Woo!
Yeah.
The Nevada Bucks.
About the same size. About the same size. Hey, guys, welcome. Welcome to the show. Who we got here, Maddie?
So we have, this is one of our 12 and under club travel teams, is that right? So not technically Little League. Little League is a separate affiliation. This is a club travel team, 12 and under. This is the Nevada Bucks. Gabe Chavira is our head coach. Who do we have here? Let's introduce yourselves.
I'm Jules Bosco.
Tyson Owens, Catch Mills, Zane Hoyne,
Say it again.
Zane Hoyne.
Zane, all right. So these are the Bucks just fresh off of their Cooperstown tournament, which is a pretty amazing thing. 100 and how many?
114.
114 or 104?
104.
104 teams out in Cooperstown playing on 20-something fields. Go through multiple games, whole tournament setup. Explain how it works. You have group play, you have single elimination.
Yep,
How does this work?
So the way the tournament starts off is basically every team is guaranteed 6 pool play games. At that point, what will happen is obviously they're seeding all the way through. What your goal is to seed in the top 16. If you're outside of that, obviously it's just going to be a longer journey for you. So by us seeding 13th to start, what we did is we basically bought ourselves a lot of buys throughout that entire process. Mm-hmm. So we had to play one game at that point to make it into the top 16. Even though we seeded there, then you have your first bracket play game. As long as you win that game, you're going to sit in the top 16 right out of the gate. And that's where you want to be at, obviously, at that point. All top 16 teams move on to Thursday. And then at that point, it's single elimination game at that point.
And how did you guys do overall in the tournament?
Tournament was fantastic. I couldn't have been happier as a coach. I think the kids came out and actually overperformed my expectations. I was a little nervous just because of the fact it is 104 teams. It's quite a bit of play. You're expecting good competition. And right out of the gate, we came out and went 6-0 early. We averaged 5 runs a game, which was pretty well. The reason why it's well, typically you're like, wow, 5 runs a game, that's quite a bit. How do you got to put up a lot of runs to do that. The difference is in Cooperstown is it's 200-foot fields. So therefore,
that's tiny.
Very small, right? So they're trying.
I could go yard. I could go yard in that field. I could go yard.
So with that, it kind of gives these kids a lot of confidence to say. It allows them to kind of hit a little more homers and different things like that. So it becomes a more offensive game. Typically, we're a defensive team, I would say. That's kind of our strength. And so we had to definitely come out and hit the baseball. And we were averaging, I think we were averaging 11 or 12 runs a game.
Wow.
So we were doing good enough to where we were able to put teams away early and kind of save some pitching. And we definitely had pitching going into the finals.
So one more question for you, Coach, before we get to the kids here and make them all nervous. You guys, are you panicking a little bit or what?
Yeah.
You guys are okay. Yeah, you'll be fine. Just talk loud, okay, when we ask you a question. So how did you qualify for this, or did you just go and you guys signed up for
so
it?
This isn't a qualifying tournament. There are a lot of those that we try to do as well. But this tournament here is just a buy-in.
So why'd you pick this one? Because of the location, Cooperstown, kind of the aura and the
obviously
mystique?
It's a fantastic thing to go to Baseball Hall of Fame, be a part of that whole atmosphere. But this is more of an experience, I would say. And this. Typically, I'm a coach that hates losing more than I like winning. I'll say that right now.
Don't be
that's
too
what makes
hard.
a good
right.
coach.
That's
We're going
right.
to find out how hard you are right now.
So with that, but coming to this tournament, a goal wasn't to necessarily win the tournament for the first time, I would say. This was about an experience. The benefit of doing this is the fact that we get to stay together in a dorm room the entire time. So I'm parent at this point for a week of 12
and that's
kids.
probably 90% of the job for coaching.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's coaching, which is great because I get to go home, put it all away. Now during this tournament, I had to make sure that they were bathing themselves, make sure that they were feeding themselves, and it was an awesome experience. I think the best part about this tournament was the fact that I think the camaraderie of the kids, and I think this tournament itself helped these kids grow and make them closer together overall, and the chemistry just went up astronomically.
Now, you guys will play no matter what, even if you have rain delays. And I hear you had a rain delay one night and carried you into the late night, and I believe you pitched. Is that correct? How did that game go? Talk about the rain delay, what time you guys got started, and how you did in that game.
So we started at 12 o'clock at night, and I pitched that game, and we won 13-1. Wait, no, it was like...
It was a 7-2 game, I believe. 7-1 game.
Yeah.
Only gave up 1 or 2 runs.
Yeah.
Nice.
No earned.
No earned
No
runs.
earned.
Oh, who had errors? Who had errors over here?
Yeah.
You're calling them out.
So it's Jules, right? Jules? So I have to ask, because it's tournament. I don't know how many girls played in this tournament, but what's it like for you going out there? You pitched? Yeah. What's that like? So many boys, and then you out there.
It was kind of like normal for me because I just like see it all the time. But I saw like a couple other girls there, and I didn't get a chance to play against them or anything. But I thought it was like fun to just like hang out with my teams.
And when you strike them out, though, I mean that's got to be like an awesome feeling, is it not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that works for anybody, but I don't know. Again, I know it's normal for you.
It's such a normal
but-
feeling.
right?
That's what I would say. It's an expectation at this point. If she doesn't, I'm like, well, are you
okay?
okay? Are
I
you
follow.
feeling all right?
Yeah. I guess you get used to it really quick. Is that what you're saying? I don't know, because again, I don't know. I'm sure you've heard of Monet Davis and her story a few years ago, and I actually watched her pitch in person when I went to cover the Little League World Series, and the Vegas team totally throttled her. But she was the biggest story there. It was really interesting. So I wanted to get your perspective on that. You guys.
What positions do you play?
Yeah,
here?
first off, yeah, you can say
Tyson,
Middle infield and outfield and catcher.
you played all over. Did you play all those positions in the tournament?
Yeah.
How'd you do?
Good, I think.
Any
I guess.
home runs out there this year?
2.
Very nice. How about you?
I play first base and I pitch.
How many games did you pitch?
I think I pitched 2.
Do you enjoy pitching or playing first base more?
Pitching's a lot more fun to me.
Yeah? Because you're in control, right?
Yeah.
It's your game?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Zane, how about you?
Shortstop.
Nice. So you've got the marquee infield position there, right?
Yeah.
You didn't give up that air, did you?
I don't know.
short memory. That's good. That's good for an infielder. Guys, just your favorite part about the trip, right? Cooperstown. I'm sure you went to the Hall of Fame at some point. Maybe you did. But tell us about the things that you saw and what was like the coolest thing that you saw out there. Anybody can go.
Seeing like all those things, the baseball memories, like the first like baseballs that were used in certain baseball games from the Hall of Fame and things like that were just crazy to see because I've never seen anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then going to Cooperstown, you get to see all those like crazy artifacts and get to make so many memories there. So.
Did you see the old gloves that they used to use?
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine playing shortstop with one of those, having to scoop up some of those hot shots? That'd be tough.
Yeah.
Now talk about,
Your coach mentioned it being in kind of a dorm-like atmosphere where you guys get to stay together. What was that like? Because that's kind of, the college environment, right? That's what you do when you get into college and you go away to play ball. What's that like for you guys?
I think as a team we enjoyed it because we all bonded closer together, like Gabe said. But I think we had a lot of fun instead of like going and staying with our parents every night. We went back.
there
and,
it is right there.
Hung out with our team.
Who broke curfew? Who stayed out too late?
Oh.
Like the whole team.
Coach.
You know, it was a little rough. I tell you what. I pulled out the old belt, made sure that they were in,
Oh,
put it in
boy.
place.
It's on
But
video.
it's right. No, I'm just kidding.
No, awesome. What does this do for your confidence, guys? I'm just curious. Now you're back here, and I don't know, if you're in the off season or if things fired up again, but team's got to be a little bit more confident going there against all these other national teams and kind of proving yourselves, right?
No, 100%. I think the confidence is going to probably be through the roof. I think you're coming off an extreme high. I think which is a good thing. I think you can look at it both ways, and I'm a guy who's going to look at the glass half full. I think it's going to be a great thing for us because we know, truthfully, I think these kids know that they are some of the best in town, hands down, and I think the expectations are going to still be extremely high. But I don't think the goal is going to continue to be more, I would say. And the fact it's going to be higher, the expectations are going to be higher, and that's over and done with. And I think now we just keep pushing forward. But I think that's a great tournament to come off of, because I think a lot of people followed it here. Everybody kind of knows who you are. You kind of put yourself on the map a little bit, and so I think for them, they have the sky's the limit at this point.
Can we go down the line, guys? I'm curious. Who's your favorite player? Why are they your inspiration? I'm hoping we're hearing some Bryce Harpers and some Chris Bryants.
Bryce Harper, almost a Dodger the other day, guys.
Oh yeah, almost so
a Dodger.
Close.
Oh.
My favorite player is Derek Jeter.
Okay, throwing it back. Oh,
the Yankee fans clapping over there.
Don't take the shot at Tony. Please don't do it. Okay, Jeter. I respect that. Why?
My whole family is basically a Yankees fan, and I just really liked watching him play and like all of the stuff he does,
No.
like outside of baseball.
He's having a tough time with the Marlins, but other than that, great guy. What about you?
Probably Javier Baez right now.
Yeah. Oh wait.
Hold on, just so you know,
MVP.
he's a Yankee fan,
Okay.
but the mom's a Cubs fan,
It's
so.
Jeter, it's Jeter and Baez.
Respect.
It's Jeter
Oh,
and Baez.
why'd you do that? Now I can't. Baez is awesome. He's really fun to watch. That's cool. Go for it.
My favorite baseball player is probably Chris Bryant. I think that I somewhat model my number after him and think that he's just a great baseball player in general.
Yeah, great character guy. I've interviewed him a bunch. I know Matt's seen him up close. Really tall though. Like I can't interview him because he's so tall. And then what about you?
My favorite baseball player was Dustin Pedroia, but now it's Mookie Betts.
Okay, well, he's having a heck of a season. Is he gonna be MVP?
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think so, right?
All right, so
somebody,
I want to bring
somebody rained on.
I want to
the
bring
parade
this
over
little
Hold
guy
on.
in here. So this is Dylan. Tyson, full disclosure, is my nephew, and this is his little brother, Dylan. Dylan was the bat boy for the Bucks for the whole season, and every now and then would be able to get into games. Very cool experience. Dylan worked his butt off and actually tried to earn some money so that he could pay his way onto the team, and he was able to go and join the Bucks in Cooperstown and get in a couple of games. Talk about this little guy and having him around.
This little guy, I think, was a big difference maker for us. I don't think it would have been the same experience without him. Obviously, like you said, he's been our bat boy the entire time, all year long. The kid does everything you ask. You say, Dylan, I need you to do this. Yes, sir. Dylan, I need you to go grab this. Yes, sir.
Boy, that's rare.
Because then you have his brother. No, I'm just kidding.
That's a different story. Let's not talk about that.
Just the kid's always got a smile on his face, and he keeps the dugout alive. And as a coach, at times, as they get older, I don't feel like I can get them as pumped up anymore. After that, for a while, it becomes them to get that energy going. And the older kids kind of slack off a little bit. It's normal. They're at that age. This little guy is just full of spunk.
They're all smarter than you.
That's
at this
right. They
point,
know everything
right?
more
Yeah.
than I.
We know.
I don't know anything at this point. But this guy just kind of keeps the energy alive. And so with that, obviously he got a couple at bats here up in Cooperstown. He almost hit a home run, actually, believe it or not, and just missed a pitch. And the kid ran some bases for us. The dorm life was great with him. He's out here doing all these new dances. I learned a lot, I'll tell you that, from these kids.
Did you do the floss?
So I learned the floss. I learned the kiki, I guess is what it's called now, right?
Yeah.
You know, so he got to break it down in there,
Awesome.
and he kept it really alive. And like I said, the team would not be the same without Dylan Owens. I'll tell you that right now.
He was in studio, so we had to make sure we called him out a little bit there. Good job. Well, guys, I want to thank you for coming in today. Awesome tournament. 7-1. Oh, hold on.
Oh, whoa.
Looks like Haley
Haley
wants
wants
to
to chime in.
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you
Great.
guys have like a team chant or anything you guys do in the dugout?
Yeah, you. Oh, wait, no, you did. I don't know. Oh, okay. You said like you lit up.
No.
Like yeah, we got some.
Not like a
He was about to, I think he was going to make one up on the spot
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Nothing?
My coach is not a big fan of chants.
Oh,
Not
you
a
put it back on
chance.
me, right?
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, there you go.
I like it.
Guys, thanks for coming in. That was fun.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
awesome.
thank you guys so
Again,
much. We appreciate
7-1, Cooperstown Dreams Tournament. Awesome run. Number 13 out of 104 teams. Great job. When's the season start back up
Season's
here?
going to start here first week of September.
Ah,
Get
right
going
back
again.
into it.
We're right back.
Yeah.
So we got 4 weeks off, and we're kicking it going
Awesome.
again.
Awesome, guys.
Sounds
Thanks
good.
for coming.
Thank you for
very
joining
much.
us.
We appreciate it.
Oh, we're just
Thank
gonna
you very
do
much.
bumps all the way around. Thanks, guys. Thank you. All right, now we're moving back. Thanks, Rich. Thanks, guys. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, they
So our studio audience just left.
They actually,
Oh, yeah.
I have one of their pins, which is awesome. The same logo you see on those shirts. Vegas Strong. It has the 58 down there where Vegas is in the star. Great representatives of the city and the state to go out there to Cooperstown. And man, what an amazing atmosphere. We talked to Scott Gilbranson about it because his son, a couple of years ago, was able to go down and play in this same tournament, hit his first home run down there. And it's just, you know, it's like if you're a football player going to Canton, you know, it's one of those things to be able to go back to where it all started.
Now the kids are gone.
Oh yeah, John, you know where Monet's from, right?
Yeah, Philly.
Yeah.
I know. Sorry,
course.
Tony. Sorry, Tony.
Of course.
Thanks,
I don't want you to
John.
absorb any of that. I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm sorry.
We're going to try to bring this.
Now we break out the beer.
All right, let's get this back on
Everybody
track.
wanted to talk to Monet. It was a little ridiculous after the Vegas team throttled her. It was a little much. So that's why.
Where is
that's
she
why I wanted to
today?
talk to Jules.
Where's she today?
I know.
In
I
high
saw
school
something
somewhere.
about her the other.
I did too.
A couple weeks ago.
Wait, Haley, what did you
pay
say?
attention to
She
that?
said she's in high school somewhere. I don't know.
She's finally in
I'll
high school.
Google it.
Getting ready for college ball, right?
I think let's talk about the Raider Nation, guys.
All right.
Raiders come.
Oh,
I
we
don't
got some
want to talk
changes
much
on the
about.
roster.
Yeah.
I really do not want to talk much about the last game because I don't know what you
Monet
can
has
do.
her own Wikipedia page. I know that.
Okay.
Where's Austin Krizik's own Wikipedia page? I wonder if he has one.
What did I name this game going
boring
into?
bowl- the boring
The
bowl.
Vanilla Bowl, right?
Yeah.
The Hef's really good. You
Yeah,
mentioned
the Hef
that.
is good.
Yeah, great.
Hef
No
is
one
really
played.
good. Bad beat. Hefeweizen. Nice.
Neither team wanted to show their cards. Like,
Why?
you know,
And why
neither
would
team
you?
wanted to play.
Yeah, it was
You-
pretty
you
boring,
scheduled-
It
wasn't
was
it?
just really sad.
Really,
Yeah,
for-
it's like
really forgettable.
Literally, I was falling asleep after halftime. I started to doze on and
Yeah,
off.
yeah. Yeah, no,
I
that's
was
true.
just had enough.
Second half, or was it the fourth quarter? That's when they scored 3 straight drives, back to back to back.
Yeah.
Which was nice, but
Well, they
I like-
other
they
than
got
that,
a turnover,
I like
which is
John
rare in
Gruden.
Raider world.
Yeah.
I like Gruden going for 2 points, saying,
Yeah,
you know, I don't
yeah,
want to
that's
play
right.
for a tie.
Yeah, forget it.
It's like stupid.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is
I'm sure
this
the
is
sports
an
bettors
indictment.
didn't like that. But
This is an indictment on the NFL.
Yeah.
Why would you know the preseason matchups well ahead of time? Why would you schedule opening day between two teams that played 3 weeks prior in the preseason. Why would you do that not only to the players, but the fans, the coaches? You know they're not going to show anything in that game. You know nobody wants to tip their hand whatsoever.
The NFL
Something
really
about
screwed
hype
up.
in the match. Well, something
They
about
screwed
hype in the matchup, though. The
But
Raiders
they
coming
screwed
back to
up.
LA. I
They
get
screwed up.
I get
They should
regular
have had
season.
a regular season
Oh, they-
game
Exactly.
in LA.
Right.
Exactly.
At the Coliseum.
Maybe it's they were making up for that.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it could have just been
That would have
it's
been-
probably an oversight.
That would have been
Yeah.
huge. Well,
Just
an
a
oversight.
mistake, right.
Another mistake. by
Yeah,
the
mistake.
NFL.
Yeah,
So,
that was terrible. As far as the game itself is concerned, we have to talk about Chris Warren III. I mean, this kid, and there's a lot of people out there talking
a lot
about
of the preseason MVPs
the
don't make
preseason-
it.
Exactly.
They
Tony,
don't make
you're one
it,
of the
man.
guys that's
I've
all
seen
over
this
that.
100 times.
I think the difference with this kid is it's not like, and I mentioned this on the show the other day, George Atkinson III.
Yeah.
I guess anybody that has a third in their name ends up being a preseason all-star. But George Atkinson III, who was with the Raiders for a few preseasons, was electric in preseason, but he had fumble problems.
Uh-huh.
He's a lightning quick back, but he couldn't hang on to the ball. You thought maybe he can make it as a special teamer because he is so fast. And again, couldn't hang on to the ball. It just wasn't going to work. Chris Warren III is he's a linebacker body playing running back. This is a huge kid, 255 pounds. I mean, it looks like a D-end linebacker out there running people over. What you have to like about this kid is Gruden's offense fits him perfectly because he is a power style back. He doesn't go down on the first hit. He's getting 2.5 yards per carry after contact.
All right, at the very best, a third down specialist.
Short yardage specialist.
Yeah.
Goal line specialist.
Yeah.
I think he's somebody that can come in and spell Marshawn Lynch because he's a
Right.
he's a
It's
young,
the same
fresh
style.
kid. Yeah. Same style, bigger kid. Now, Marshawn's faster. I think Marshawn
Right.
is more elusive. He's sneaky elusive. His jump cut is pretty elite for as big a back and powerful a back as he is. But Chris Warren fits this offense. Washington Richard, one of those guys isn't going to make it. I think it's going to be Washington that doesn't make it. I still haven't seen anything out of Doug Martin yet. So, yeah, it sounds like he's going to make the team because of name alone. But what has he done? He's done nothing yet in the preseason. He hasn't done anything for 2 years
I don't
in Tampa
think that
Bay.
Gruden is a reputation guy. I don't think he is.
I don't either.
You know, I
Not
think
at
he's
all.
going to go with the guys that are playing well, and we could see a surprise there.
I think he makes the roster. I don't think they let him go.
Well,
At the
he's
very
got-
least, he's practice squad.
That's
but
what
I
I
don't
was
think
going to
he
say.
goes that
But
far.
isn't it, if they put him on the practice squad, he's still eligible to be picked up by anybody else, right?
I think
you've got to clear waivers. There's
a
some sort of
period of
waiver
time, yeah,
process.
right.
So if they want to put him on practice squad,
I don't.
other
I
teams
think
can
they
pick him
keep
up.
Yeah, I don't think they let him
got
go.
to,
This kid
right?
fits-
He's not going to stay if
he
they want him
fits
on the
the
practice
offense,
squad.
right? I mean, that's the thing. Is he fits this offense. It's not a guy they're trying to shoehorn in. He fits this style of football.
I agree.
So the Raiders signing DRC,
Yeah.
Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. We talked about him visiting camp almost a couple weeks ago, said he was going to go and take a look at Seattle first. And trouble with the Giants last year, you know, because I read the New York media and listen and watch New York media all the time, but suspended by Ben McAdoo, didn't really fit into that system. It was
Perfect
just
for the Raiders.
It was a horrible season last year, though, in New York with a lot of turmoil. Played in 15 games. Paul Gunther likes his coverage. Now, you really have some depth at corner. So
All of a sudden, right?
yeah. So Rashawn Melvin and Gary Conley are the starters.
Right.
But you also have now, you have got DRC, you've got Darryl Worley, you have Leon Hall, you have Sharice Wright, who's played well, you have Nick Nelson, who's played well in the preseason,
Nick Nelson
Dexter
looks like a
McDonald,
stud all
you
of a
have
sudden.
Antonio Hamilton, who I thought's been contributing.
And a couple of those names will not make the roster.
Well,
There's just not
that's
enough
some
space.
serious depth.
Not enough space. Nick Nelson has looked like the kid they thought he was going to be coming out of Ohio State. So I think he's going to make the roster. You already mentioned Connolly back on the field. Looked
Yeah.
good in this preseason
Looked pretty
game.
good.
And it's not even about –
Made a world of difference. In the,
Yeah.
You know, like he just looks better. He looked like a glue guy.
That's the thing. You're seeing guys now in frame. You didn't
Before
see
I fell
that
asleep
before.
watching the game.
Before you fell asleep. You didn't see that the last couple of seasons. Receivers are running around by themselves against the Raiders secondary. Now you see guys staying with them. They're in frame. They're right on top of these guys. They're able to get their hand on the ball, deflections, interceptions, whatever it takes. You didn't see that before. Connolly's going to be that guy. Melvin's going to be that guy. I think Nelson can be that guy. And now DRC, who is the active leader in pass deflections currently. I mean, that's all of a sudden a quality secondary, if you ask me.
That's
Not
a good
elite,
secondary.
but that's a quality
No,
secondary.
it's a contender.
Yeah.
It's a contending secondary there. The corners are good.
Melifanu gone, right? I knew you were going to mention that, so at least I sound smart knowing that. But is there any chance? I don't know. Does Kramari switch to safety? He's got the size for it. Is there any chance that he does, or is this he's the third CB for
I think
nickel
he's
downs?
at corner right now, pending injury. We'll see what happens with I don't think they ever counted on Obi being there at safety. They've been building this team without him.
Yeah.
He hasn't been able to stay on the field at all. They question his passion, his want to play football. That's not what Gruden's going to – he doesn't put up with that. Gruden is such a football guy. If he doesn't think that you're 100% engaged, you're gone. And unfortunately, the Raiders wasted a second-round pick, number 56 overall, in Obi Melifanu. The thing is, McKenzie needs to stop reaching for projects. A project is great when you get into the mid-rounds, later rounds. You can't reach for a project like Obi Melifanu in the second round. The kid had freakish speed and size. Okay, he's 6'4", ran a 4.3 or 4.4 40. I mean, the kid he's a freak, but he can't stay on the field, and he was super raw when it came to his ability to cover. So it was a reach to go after him in the second round, and then injuries and things like that, setbacks. Now he's gone. I think somebody will pick him up, but I mean, it's unfortunate they wasted a second-round pick.
Let's move on to UNLV football. Bad news for the Rebel football team this past week. Defensive end Nick Dadashian is out for the season now with a broken foot injury. This is an area already.
Just with a foot. He would just say with a foot.
With a foot injury.
No. It's just with a foot or a knee or a
They all
shoulder.
have feet.
With a foot.
He's out for
I
the
don't-
season with a foot.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
You just mentioned
with
the
a foot.
problem area. And
Hallie,
you
how
move
would
on.
you, Hallie, you've won an Emmy.
He
and
has a foot. He's gone.
He's out.
Have you been drinking that beer over there?
It's been hanging out with me.
So Jameer Outsey and Roger Mann are the two starters on the ends. They have little experience now behind them. They thought that they were going to have a pretty good rotation, at least 3 down defensive ends, right?
But the middle's stronger. I know they have more size in the middle, so that just puts that much more pressure on them.
Yeah,
Right? Front
but
four they got to do something
They're
this
going
year.
to have to walk up linebackers and DBs.
They got to do something. The front four have to do something.
You have to protect
Tony,
the
this
edge.
goes back to something else he told us last week when we interviewed him, playing 70-plus snaps
60
a
to
game.
70 snaps
I mean,
per game.
Now suddenly you lose depth at that position.
Yes.
And you're going to be put in a position again to where you have to play that many snaps. And what happens in the fourth quarter when you've been on the field that long? You give up these 20-point leads.
Yeah, and Jamal Holloway needs to step up. Nate Neal, also, they're 2 sophomores. He'll need to step up this upcoming season. So they're relying on some youngsters, but it's time now. They have to get in the fray, and they have to grow up fast. They do. And
you're right, it's time.
There are
It's
some
time.
ways to disguise, a lack of depth there this season, moreover than last year because of the scheme.
I think depth is an issue, man. Depth is a huge issue.
That's the area that really concerns.
It's been for
Especially
the
when
last
you're
3
talking
seasons.
but especially when you're talking about a team that can't sustain drives. This offense is largely built on the home run with guys like Lexington Thomas that can break one for 95 yards on any given play.
Yeah.
I mean, that Armani Rogers, who's such a well, I don't want to say dual threat yet. He is the quarterback who can run like crazy, but hasn't shown much in the passing game yet. But I mean, they're not sustaining drives. They're not going on 10 to 12 play, 80-yard drives, taking 6-7 minutes off the clock. It's a home run or it's a 3 and out.
It's going to be maybe more high-scoring games ahead for UNLV this season. I just say that because in the last scrimmage, Armani Rogers, who has been inconsistent at best, Rogers, I thought, played his best, overall. He played a half, and you would think that he was ready for the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm. And that's coming off of last week's scrimmage that wasn't very good.
He rebounded very well.
How
but
much
again,
stock
it's that
can you put into a
inconsistency.
scrimmage against a defense that he's seen every day for the last month?
Well, I think
yes,
just
but he
bouncing
was
back like that
delivering
is
the
a big
football on the mark and completed every pass but one. Brandon Presley on a slant drops a wide open pass in the end zone, and that's the only pass that was incomplete. And it was the best command that he's had. In between the halves, Lexington Thomas goes over from the offensive side of the field to the defensive side and starts saying, "Hang in there, guys," because they took a beating. They took a
Did
beating.
he complete
They
more than
wore-
13 passes?
Well, he only played a half.
Probably 7 of 7.
Yeah, 6 of 7.
7 of 8.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the benchmark, right? 13.
But he played. It was the best I've seen him. The best I've seen him, even in a scrimmage. You know, to your point, even just at practice where he's not delivering the football on target consistently, right?
And hitting Matt in the head. So.
Well,
Allegedly.
I gave him the sign. I just went like that.
Oh yeah, that's.
And-
was it another finger?
was
Was
just-
it
Tony's
another
putting the
finger?
hit out, man.
Yeah, was it another
He's putting the
finger?
hit out. He wonders why I'm not going to be there tomorrow
It's
morning
like
with
this.
him.
He does this.
So Brandon Presley will be on our radio show, which is found where? CBS Sports Radio, 11:40 a.m. Saturday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m.
So what's going on though? Seems like Tony, for whatever reason, is Tony Sanchez. Sorry,
Okay.
Coach Sanchez.
Okay.
Early
important
practice on, was it Friday? Last Friday, I think I went out there with a couple of my students. They ended it early. No practice coming up tomorrow or
No,
today.
they canceled practice.
So I'm
yeah.
just.
So what's the deal with that, Tony? I mean, this is a team that
Yeah.
people are picking to go to a bowl, right?
Yes.
This is a bowl team. This is a bowl team.
You'll
this is a
hear
bowl
my
team.
comments in a minute here.
They have USC to start the season, a team that's most likely going to throttle them
15th
in the
in the nation.
Coliseum. And they're taking off days. They're taking off practice. They're cutting them short.
It's odd.
We don't know if they're.
It's odd.
We don't know if they're taking. So Monday.
Heat-related?
Monday it was my once a year screw up where I show up on campus early in the morning for football practice and there's no one there. I'm the only person.
You say year or week?
It's an annual occurrence.
It's like he shows up.
It's once a
He'll
year.
show up to every football practice and every basketball practice, but you don't see him anywhere else. Kidding.
Right.
We love you, Tony.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so Monday they practiced in the afternoon.
Him and Ice are
They were
like-
supposed
there's
to
an
practice
allergy
at 6
there, you
o'clock
don't
at
see
night.
this guy.
They moved it up. They didn't tell anyone. I think they might be working. Well, if there's some media guys out there all the time, right, and ladies, if everyone out there in the media is there and watching practice, aren't they going to be saying, hey, they ran this play in practice. Hey, they did this. So maybe
I've never
he still
witnessed
has
that.
hours.
I'm
He
just
still has
saying.
hours that they can
Yeah.
practice.
Can you bank those? You can bank
But
those
this
hours.
has been an odd week, though, and I have to
Uh-huh.
agree with you a little bit, John, in that it's been strange because it's like this middle week,
You
right?
heard that, right? You heard that?
I know. I'm a little
Okay.
taken aback. Continue, please.
Write it down.
What'd you say?
Go ahead.
We're all just stunned that you said you'd have to agree with me.
Semi agree with John.
See, there it is. You ruined it.
Thank you so much back there in the hood. It's been an off week. It's been an off week. It's been like one of those in between weeks that the Rebels don't know quite what to do. What do you prepare for? Like, I mean, they've sprinkled in plays. He said
Yeah.
by Friday
Practice
the entire
tackling.
playbook.
Boy,
The entire playbook will be installed by tomorrow.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and they shorten that practice too. If you know, I'm sure you're happy.
Interesting. All right. Well,
But
trust
we'll see.
Coach Sanchez, but it is odd. Maybe he's tried a different strategy in the past and it hasn't worked. Maybe he really believes in his team. I'm just curious. Just curious.
If you believe in your team or not,
Yeah.
you have to practice. You haven't had
Right.
a single game
Yeah, I
on the field yet.
They think they're game ready.
They're
There's
going to play a
no
mock
way they're
game.
game
They're going to
ready.
play the mock game on
Right.
Saturday.
Are they
at
throwing?
Sam Boyd.
Are they throwing SC away? Are they already chalking up a loss here and going, let's get ready for the next one? I mean,
it's not a good
The
look.
kids are a little bit worn down, right? And they just want to make sure
they
that
can't
they
be any
don't.
different
Right,
than
and-
any
Well, you
other
don't want-
college student
right, but
in
you don't want-
football in the nation right
You
now.
want them to come into the USC game fresh. And then I'm telling you, if there's an injury, sometimes as a coach, maybe you get a little iffy.
Yeah.
Right? About
Sure.
The second
this
you
gonna
start
happen?
playing conservatively
And that's
is
it.
the
You're
second
going to
you
get eaten
beat.
alive. Yeah, you'll
Wow.
get eaten alive.
This isn't
So-
a team good enough to be conservative with anything.
So we actually have a package from one of your former prize students.
Wow. You mean Luis? You mean Haley?
I said former. They're current students.
Well, I'm always teaching Luis something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am not current. I am.
So, a UNLV alum, Cassie Soto, has this preview of the upcoming UNLV football season. Let's take a look.
After falling just one game short of a bowl berth a year
is it?
ago, it's full steam ahead in Las Vegas. Fourth-year head coach Tony Sanchez and crew hope that with 16 returning starters, the Rebels will make it to the postseason for the first time since 2014. Hi, I'm Cassie Soto inside the Mountain West Network studio. Here's what you need to know as we count down to kickoff with the UNLV Rebels. The Rebels finished as one of the nation's top 20 rushing offenses a year ago due to the fact that their quarterback was not afraid to hit the ground running. Named the 2017 Mountain West Freshman of the Year, Armani Rogers is back after setting a UNLV record for the most rushing touchdowns by a freshman with 8. A true dual-threat quarterback who declined offers from the likes of UCLA, Arizona State, and Washington, Rogers' speed and strength engineered 1,471 passing yards for 6 touchdowns, including the longest pass play in program history that resulted in a 94-yard touchdown.
He's a fast, physical guy. He has he's got a live arm. He throws the ball well. He gets a little bit better in those third down situations. I think he has a chance to be one of the top guys in the country.
He's one of those guys that if all you need is 3 yards, he get you 60. Sky's the limit for him, and we go as far as our money goes. He's a great kid.
Entering the season as the Mountain West's top returning rusher, senior running back Lexington Thomas was lights out a year ago after he turned in the 4th highest single-season rushing performance in UNLV history. With 1,336 yards for 17 touchdowns, the speedy back ranked 17th in the nation for rushing yards, averaging 111 per game. This year, Thomas looks to match his output as he needs just over 1,200 yards to top the UNLV record books.
One of the things he's done a really good job is developing his hands, being a pass catcher out of the backfield. We hope to see a little bit more of that this year. But, he's just, they call him Lightning Lex, but his speed is, it's real. So he's that home run hit type guy. So we need him to go and have some of those big plays and those game-changing moments for us. And he's a guy that's got to take a leadership role. He's kind of a quiet guy. He's got a beautiful smile, kind of jovial and stuff. But being a senior, he's got to kind of take a little bit of that leadership role and run with it.
I was more of a watch as I do, and you follow my lead type of guy. But now I'm trying to become more of a vocal guy in the locker room and in practice fields. So it's a couple of things I've been working on. It's a blessing. It's guys that I know that have died to be in this position that I'm in. I've just been put in a good situation, and I'm blessed, and I'm honored. It's a great honor to be a part of a great group of guys.
Looking to turn around the Rebels' defensive miscues is senior Jameer Outsey. Outsey's strong leadership skills will be key in improving a defense that allowed over 31 points and 458 yards per game. Meanwhile, in his first season with the Rebs, the former Big Ten player recorded 25 stops, including 3 tackles for loss, as well as 2 sacks, and picked up a fumble for 53 yards.
Well, first of all, I think you're going to see a better motor out there. He's in the best shape of his life. He's stronger out there. He's also been through some mental things, and and I think when push comes to shove, he's going to be more reluctant to shove rather than get pushed. He'll fight through those things, and I think the toughness that he has right now, I think the way that he's evolved has inspired the entire unit around him.
My potential is just so much more, and I just expect so much more from myself, and I think the guys should expect something more from me too. As a 5th-year senior, they should look at me to lead the way. And so for myself, I think I improved a lot, but I think I still got a long way to go.
UNLV opens up the season on the road and will visit one of the nation's most historic college football venues, as the Rebels are set to face USC on September 1st.
Looking back, if you was a kid and you grew up loving football, you called a USC game. You've seen them, you respect, those type of programs. You've seen them on TV, you knew when they came on, you knew to give them the proper respect. So, it should be an honor, and I'm thankful to play in that Coliseum, but, business is business.
UNLV has 3, 4, and 5 wins in Tony Sanchez's first 3 seasons. So in season 4, the expectation is at least 6 wins and the program's second bowl appearance since 2000. The success of the Rebels could hinge on the arm and legs of sophomore quarterback Armani Rogers, who amassed more than 2,000 yards in total offense in his freshman season. There is a deep and healthy and experienced offensive line, and 3 of the top 4 receivers are back. Brandon Presley is the deep threat. Kendall Keys and Darren Woods Jr. have big play ability. UNLV's defense has a new coordinator. It's Tim Skipper from Florida. He'll be running an attacking scheme, and the linebackers will be coming downhill. Safety Dalton Baker returns. He led the team in tackles last season with 99. The Rebels were just 2 plays away from making it to a bowl game last year. I think they'll get there this year. They'll get over the hump.
UNLV goes to a bowl game in 2018.
Thank you, Tony. Once again, UNLV opens up the season at USC on Saturday, September 1st. This countdown to kickoff has been brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union, the official credit union of the Mountain West. From the Mountain West Network studio, I'm Cassie Soto.
And we're back.
There's no way we would have ran that story
Not
if you
a
weren't
chance.
in it.
Not a chance.
And then we had to put the part in at the end with Cassie saying, "Thanks, Tony."
He's been beaming this entire time, just waiting for his spot to come.
I said that UNLV will be a bowl team. Relax.
Now they're not even practicing. What are you talking about?
I'm getting tears in my eyes. Thanks, Tony.
Great package.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
I mean, somebody's got to have my back. All right, let's talk about the Las Vegas Aces.
Yeah,
And
let's
we're
do
gonna
that.
Haley,
Season over.
Haley, we're going to talk to you because I want to get some input on just some things that I want to fix.
And me?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
You know what?
Beat
Well,
it, kid.
first of all, no, we'll talk about.
His gum's on the other side now. But
Oh, geez.
it was on the left earlier. Now it's on the right.
So, we'll talk about some things that I have, some issues I have with the WNBA, because we got a chance to look at the league a little closer this year. After we throw it over to the one and only Luis Negretti, and we would not have Luis on camera.
Why did you
We would not even have him on camera.
Why'd you
if
get
this
Haley
wasn't
over
a
there so
package.
quickly? You just wanted to get me off the set.
John, haven't you figured it out by now? He's
What?
always
No, I mean, I'm just exposing
I think
Tony
we need
for the
to talk
fraud
to
that he
Luis
is.
first. Luis,
let's go to Luis.
Hey guys, well, I mean, I'm still getting over the fact that the season's over.
Are you sad?
I'm sad because there's no women's basketball for a whole year.
You're sad because you can't watch Kelsey Plum play basketball anymore.
Kayla McBride. But yeah, I was at Mandalay Bay last Sunday, and I was able to gather a little quick recap regarding the whole season. By giving fans a last taste of what's to come next year. Despite finishing the season with a record of 14-20, Coach Bill Laimbeer believes the season was nothing short than special.
I told him after the game, be proud of this year. It was a great year for the Las Vegas Aces. We launched a franchise. We competed and showed who we were, both individually and collectively. And our franchise and our fans got to come out and enjoy a great product and a great sport. And MGM, I thought, did an unbelievable job of launching this franchise.
For A'ja Wilson, her rookie year proved that she's a household name by averaging 20.7 points per game, 8 rebounds, and 1.6 blocks. A'ja was also announced as the AP's Rookie of the Year last Tuesday. For A'ja, this season was surreal.
Every night, pretty much, for the most part, I'm playing against people that I watched in college. I kind of look up to, and I was competing against them. They're defending me, I'm defending them. So I think those moments I really wanted to capitalize on, and it's just kind of like, oh wow, I'm really here. I'm really a pro athlete, and I'm playing this game. So I think those moments really stood out to me the most. But honestly, I have to say just being around my teammates, just getting the feel for them, and just coming together and watching us grow over the season.
Fans will have to wait till next May to see how this team develops into a championship contender who's eager to win.
I'll give myself like a C+, with a little extra credit I can get to a B-. I think that's how I would grade myself. I think there's a lot of things that I could have caught on very quickly, but I didn't, and I wish I would capitalize on that now, but it's a little too late. But I think definitely coming back around next season, I'm excited to just continue to be a sponge and to get in as much information that I can. And now that I know how quickly the season can go, knowing how to retain that information very quickly so I can help my team in a better way.
I'm the type of person that I'm going to get in the gym in a week from now, and it's going to be all Vegas, whatever we have to do to get into the playoffs and make a championship run. So.
Well, as far as the WNBA, the Washington Mystics just won their first playoff game, and I believe Phoenix is winning right now or just won. So we might get a different WNBA finals this year. So Minnesota got knocked out yesterday. Back to you guys.
Luis, I'm expecting to have my Aces hat tonight, and I couldn't
You
get
didn't
out.
come
Where's
through,
yours?
man.
What?
You didn't come through, Luis.
I
Tony's
did.
one request was that you bring him an Aces. I mean, truth be told, he should have gone to the game Sunday, but He just wanted a hat.
I actually was thinking about it, but he never gave me a pin that I was asking for.
And there you go.
So I was like,
Tony.
I'll just give it to my mom.
Sometimes you got to give a little to get a little.
Yeah, it's a little reciprocity in Vegas, man. So, really, okay.
Can we talk about the good first?
Well, the good.
Asia Wilson.
Okay, rookie of
the year, which
that's
to
a
nobody's
shocker.
surprise, right?
From the
but
AP.
Regardless,
right?
Rookie of the year on the
second,
team.
Second all-time rookie scoring leader too, by the way.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
They improved by 6 wins over last season, I believe.
Okay.
They're heading in the right direction.
No, I'm a total fan of the Aces. I'm a fan you've seen,
yes,
and I really like them and I support them wholeheartedly. It's not them, it's this league. It's this. They shortened the season by 3 weeks. The WNBA playoff system is horrendous. How do you feel about this? Single elimination in the first and second rounds. It's not even a series.
Yeah, I asked
Haley.
Shouldn't it at least be 3 games?
Best of 3? Yeah, do something. Single elimination, first 2 rounds, then best of 5.
But then I feel like that creates higher stakes, so more people have to watch now as opposed to dragging out the series, and then you have to watch multiple games because I feel like this is a short attention span kind of
league.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's what maybe, but did they shorten the playoffs this year compared to previous
keep
years?
talking
I
about
didn't
the
watch it that
condensed
close.
Season,
right? 3 weeks condensed because of the World Cup.
The World Championships coming up. Yeah. So maybe I don't know. I mean, let's be honest. None of us have followed the WNBA to any degree before this season.
Yeah, no doubt.
I watched the game against Dallas, and my wife's sitting there watching it with me, and I was honestly surprised at how into the game I was and how irritated I was by the fact that they blew that lead.
Right.
This is a WNBA game, a league that I've literally never watched in my life, and I'm getting into it because we have a team here now.
Yeah. There's just, we've talked about this on our radio show. We've talked about it here on TV. And it just, after a while, like this league has such a long way to go. It's over a 20-year league now, 22 years, I think. And they have issues. I've never heard of a league like shortening the season. It only impacts so many players, right, that are going to be playing on this international all-star team. But the whole league has to suffer? I don't really get that. Why can't you start it 3 weeks sooner?
How about the fact that the league is up 38%
It's
38%?
Yeah.
Can we call that the Vegas effect?
Yep.
Yeah, we did.
Let's be honest.
And we did.
Yeah, and we talked about that months
Or
ago,
is that
right?
the whole woman movement thing?
No. No. I
do you think that
I don't think that's what it is.
I just thought of it right now.
I don't think that's what it is.
That's how we roll here.
Because hockey was up this season.
Yeah.
And Vegas led the league in
No. I
ratings
think
during the
Vegas
playoffs.
definitely had an impact, and
Vegas has an impact on
everything
it
because
touches.
Vegas sells, right?
Yeah.
The city Vegas.
It's
the
a
word
brand. Vegas is a brand.
It sells.
It's not just a city. It's
There's
a brand.
no doubt. And just when they had the NBA Summer League here, the fact that they were just cross-promoting WNBA like I've never seen before, and giving women opportunities to broadcast play-by-play.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, their very first shot. I don't know.
And only.
Yeah, and last shot. Very last
a lot of
shot
first shot play-by-play people out there.
There are a lot of first shot play-by-play people. But to me, that's one of the things they have to fix. So no more condensed seasons. And was it because of the condensed season that the Aces didn't have everyone in camp on time early because there was overlap with the European leagues, which we typically, I guess, don't see. Everyone reported late. This team was out of the chute was 1-7. They were 1-7 to start.
Yeah.
They didn't have all their players.
Just a couple of games would have made a difference. They would have been the 8th seed.
Yeah. I just think that there's a lot of the forfeit in D.C. I mean, that is something that needs to be fixed.
The Little League kids
The Little League kids came back. Yeah, there you go. That's my role model right there.
I think that entire thing was mishandled by everybody from top to bottom. WNBA, the league officials, the Aces, the players. There needed to be, I think, more communication involved with that entire situation.
Right.
I don't know how much was said to them before they decided to forfeit that game, or before they decided they weren't going to play that game. Were they told by the league, hey, if you don't play this game, it's forfeit, period, that's what's happening? Or is this something that was decided 2 days later?
So they don't want to be a minor league franchise or a minor league, right?
And then
They
let them
can't,
fly
they can't
jets.
be divas, Tony. They can't be divas at
You
this
have a
point.
mic. You
Sorry.
don't have to yell. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Why is he yelling?
Because you're getting up there in age, Tony. Clearly,
I can hear you, dude.
I
Like,
think
it's
I
okay.
think it's a distance thing.
Inside voice, dude. Inside voice. So, like, to me, like, if you're a team, you want to join the NHL. You put up your $750 million. But this is the criteria.
See, I was
to play in
talking to
this
you and
league.
you couldn't even hear me.
Did he say something?
It's
Some guy.
off the rails.
I was
man.
talking,
Okay,
but
John.
you didn't hear me,
Well,
or
what are
you
you
were
saying?
ignoring me.
This
What do you wanna
episode feels
say?
very Wayne's World to me today.
Yeah. It feels like we're in someone's basement. And another thing, one more thing. Oh, so every team should have to pony up, and they all fly private jet to get to games. Transportation, big issue. But some teams don't have
Or
money.
at the
Some
very
teams
least-
do. So you have to travel commercial.
At the
No.
very least,
No. Everyone
allow a
fly
team that gets
charter.
into a position like that to just book a
whatever.
flight on their own. Yeah, okay, fine. If everybody has to fly commercial, in general, fine. But if a
But they
situation
did.
arises like that,
But they did. They broke up the team. They sent the
no,
like
no,
they
no.
were
But
all on
this is
different
what I'm
flights.
saying. Yeah, okay. If everybody has to fly a regular airfare, that's fine. But if you can charter a plane in an emergency style situation, allow them the flexibility to be able to do that.
I think another thing too, just kind of, because I watch this closely, even though John thinks I don't, he thinks I can't see anymore. But this is a
No,
team
here,
that needs,
Tony, here.
This is a team that needs its own identity. They have the VGK crew in the arena. I'm like, no, get your own identity. Like, and then the biggest game in franchise
What do you mean they
history,
have the VGK
not
crew in the
even
arena?
Big D, people like that. It's
They
kind
have their
of
own
that.
dancers and everything.
Yeah, but
their
they
own
have a
hype
lot of
squad.
people that cross over, and it's like, this is not the Golden Knights.
This was a late move.
Okay.
Things were kind of thrown
For next
together,
year,
including
put your own
front
stamp on
office,
it.
things like
Everything.
that. I think you'll see progression in year 2 and 3.
I don't want to see
when
the
they have
same
more
people that are
time.
in the arena at T-Mobile for hockey.
Right.
I don't.
I agree with you.
I don't.
I agree with you.
And then the biggest game in franchise history against Dallas, not on TV. This goes along
We've already
with.
covered this. Did you forget all that?
Are you texting each other? What are you guys doing there?
I'm multitasking,
I'm
Tony.
not your inside joke. Okay.
I'm multitasking.
So that's it. That's my take.
Yeah,
Do you have
that's
anything
your take.
else?
We've heard it like 4 times already.
I don't disagree with anything you said. I do think, though, that it will progress. Like I said, year 2 and 3, because they're going to have more time.
Right.
They have a legitimate offseason. They're settled now in Vegas. I think things will get better as far as the Aces side is concerned. The league, I don't know. The league seems to be slow to catch up.
They don't want to
They don't want to.
catch up. They don't want to get with the
They
times.
need
No.
to.
No, but you know what? The players deserve more money, yes, but they also have to market it better, and they have to get more fans in the stands. If they want
Not
more
playing
money.
a game is not the way to do it.
Yep. Yeah, you can't just complain. You got to do something about it. All right.
Just throwing stuff.
Shaking thing.
Okay, we've got a couple more items
back.
here, and then
You're
we're out
tap
of
out.
here.
Well, you
The
can't
Viva
handle
Lights.
it.
Wrap it up,
No,
Tony.
I don't
The
wanna
Viva
be
Lights
over there
come off of a
anymore.
2-0
I don't know
loss
how
to
you do
Phoenix
it.
FC.
They come
that
off
broke
of a lot of those, I
4-game
think.
home win streak for this team. Isidro Sanchez said after the game, he said he really feels that the team's making progress. They're starting to play the way he wants them to. It's going to be too little, too late. On the bright side, the Las Vegas Lights surpassing 100,000 fans. So they surpassed that mark. More than 6,700 fans were in attendance at their last game. This Saturday night, 8 p.m., Cashman Field, Fresno FC comes in, and there will be post-game fireworks. Now, today on Facebook, a lot of the talk from the Lights Facebook page was about a certain promotion that's going to be happening. So
Yeah.
in
How fun is
September,
this?
200 fans
Can we go as fans?
are going to be fighting for $5,000 in cash on the field that's going to be dropped from a helicopter. It's going to be massive fights.
Well,
What if it's
so
windy?
I'm going to sharpen my elbows if somebody doesn't like.
they're drawing
rub
for
them
fans,
first.
right? It's going to be minimal amount of fans. Not
200.
Like, yeah, but it's not like the entire crazy section that was cussing at you in Spanish. is
No,
gonna
that
be
is
down
who's going to
there.
be down there.
Yes.
Well, if it is, then I want Tony down there too. Throw
Yeah,
him in the
I'll
mix.
mix it up. I don't care.
But I mean, this reminds. Is this like remember Batman?
Simpsons
1989 Batman with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson, and he's throwing money out
Yeah,
in the
the best
crowd.
Batman. Oh, that was
that's-
good.
That was
That
the
was
best
a good
Batman. It's
scene.
absolutely the best Batman. That's what this reminds me of. You're just going to have chaos and anarchy out there with people fighting over. Is it going to be all ones? Or they're going to be multiple denominations? Because I know if 100 falls down, somebody's getting beat up.
And
for it.
then a lot of the money will go. Let's say it's a windy night. It's going to wind up in the.
I'm hanging out in the parking lot.
Stands, in the parking lot. I mean, there's going to be money flying everywhere.
No.
Back in.
We need a drone.
Back in the 90s.
Tony didn't hear you.
A drone.
We need a drone, Tony, to go get the money.
There we go.
Before it falls.
We got to do it. No, back in the 90s, I worked for this thing, and I came up with this idea to give away money. But the money was given away based on touchdowns. So every touchdown that was scored, we gave away $500. So get this team to score goals. Or every goal that's not scored. Every shot on goal.
They get a $100 chip when they score enough goals, and they
Right.
still can't do it.
Right.
No amount of money is going to incentivize these guys enough to score more goals. They're just not there yet.
But like for us, like after each touchdown, we roll a barrel onto the field, and we do a drawing, and somebody wins. They win money, $500 for a touchdown. Do something like that, and then people aren't going to be scrapping on the field. There's going to be fight. It's going to be
Whatever. I want to record this. It's
yeah,
gonna be fun.
it's not going to be good.
It's going to be must-see TV.
And it's with a helicopter.
Can we put this on pay-per-view
so the
instead
helicopter,
of some boring golf match between
Right.
two over-the-hill guys?
Oh, come on.
So the
Don't start on that
helicopter.
one.
So
Don't
the
start on that one.
helicopter.
Shadow Creek.
Right.
$9
But the
million.
propeller on the helicopter is going to blow the money around. It's
They've
going
done
to
this
wind
stuff
up.
before.
It's going to wind up on Fremont Street. The cash will wind up on Fremont Street.
Everybody else's money ends up there, so who cares?
Okay,
right?
just two other items. 51s winding down.
Just two other
Is
items.
that all? Each
So
one takes
at
20
home
minutes
against
with this guy.
Utah tonight, and then 51s with just 7 home games remaining. I know John will go to all 7, and he'll be there on September the 3rd at noon for the finale. One other note, is that okay?
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson versus Tiger Woods, now official.
mentioned it.
So
You buried the
Tiger's
lead.
been installed as a minus 150
Who's paying for
or
this?
160 favorite
Who's paying
on pay-per-view.
pay-per-view
Thanksgiving
to
weekend.
watch the most boring
What's Phil's line?
television
'Cause I'm taking
sport on the
Mickelson.
planet?
He's got to be plus,
Yeah, plus money.
130, 120.
I'm taking Mickelson.
140, I don't know.
God. Anybody else want to watch two old guys walk around a course for
They
6
both should
hours?
be minus $1.10
Can't
as far as
wait.
I'm concerned.
Well,
Can't wait.
Yeah, we thought that they
Riveting
were like
TV.
if you bet on it before it was formally
I
announced.
guess. Well,
it
I
was
guess
like
everybody's going
minus
to bet on
120.
Tiger, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's going to be
yeah.
heavy
So it's an
betting
even
on
yeah.
Tiger.
Yeah.
Phil Mickelson's got a Twitter account now, so
Can they at least carry their own clubs? Something? Just
Nope.
they're
gonna
playing
ride golf
for
carts.
$9 million. Haley, thank you so
Wake me
much
up
for
when that's
joining
over.
us. We wish we could do
Wait.
Haley's comments.
Back to school night this Saturday at the Bull Ring. It's happening. Racing.
She came just to say that.
What
I
time?
think.
Yes. I think gates open at 5.
All right, will you be there?
She looks so comfortable back
I
there.
know.
I'm
I'm
so
doing
proud.
great.
You have no idea how proud I am of Haley Brooks. Thanks, Haley.
welcome.
Just make yourself comfortable.
Here for a
back
good time.
We'd like to thank, of course, Haley Brooks, Luis Negretti for that package on the Aces, and then also the Nevada Bucks for stopping by tonight. And we lost our entire studio audience when they left.
We could hear them running
No,
around
we hear them,
outside,
yeah.
though. They were having a blast.
For Matt Gutierrez, for John Castanino, of course, for Richard Giacovino, our producer, Tony Cardasco, so long from Las Vegas.
Oh, Bad Beat Brewing in the Pint as well.
Packers Raiders tomorrow night.
You should go to the
Do it
break.
there.